Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. My name is Michelle Newstetter, and I am the woman behind Extreme Excellence and Finding Fearless. It's my goal to help you to create strategic action plans so you can get unstuck and create the life you dream. Make sure you subscribe, leave a review, and tag us on social media using hashtag Finding Fearless so that we can see how you're creating your life. It seems like throughout time in history, people have wanted to manage time. And the thing is that we can't manage time. We all have exactly the same amount of time available to us. But having an exceptional set of skills can really help us to navigate through the time that we do have available to us. You know, there's no time management technique or even simple tip that can help you to manage time better if you don't start to develop a few core skills that you're going to need. And over the next 2 weeks, so today and next week, I'm going to talk to you about a few of these core skills that you can start to work on that's going to help you to better navigate through the time that you have available to you. So at this point in time, you might be asking yourself, why are these skills even important? Well, you know what? Without some proper skills, you're going to find it hard to organize yourself, organize the time that you do have, organize yourself in general. At this point, you might be asking yourself, why are these skills even important? Or why are these skills so important? Well, you know what? Without proper time navigational skills, you're going to find it hard to organize your time, yourself in general, or others in like a smart, in a consistent way. Let's start with planning. See, our ability to utilize the time that we have well starts with good planning skills. It's really hard to manage your day, your week, your month if you don't have good plans. You know, that it's that whole failing to plan is planning to fail, right? Developing really good, proper planning skills is one step. It's really a first step towards our ability to start to more effectively use the time that we have. Of course, in practice, a day never goes completely according to plan ever. But having a good plan is still a tool to help you get a general idea of the course of the day and not to stray off course, because you start to put your big rocks into your day and you allow for space around that for things to go awry, for interruptions to happen, for chaos to ensue in your day, and still to walk away at the end of the day and feel like, man, that was a good day. And you can do this by starting to prepare yourself a little bit of a different way. Yes, we do need some task lists. We need to know what needs to be done. We do need to understand the sequence that work needs to be done in. We need to have good calendar management skills. We can do that though with how we set up our calendars. So when we look at things like our month ahead and we kind of plot in the big things that we already know well ahead of time that we don't have to think a lot about, but we put it onto this big calendar so that we can see what is coming up. But then each week we need to take some time to actually look at our week ahead, and we take some of those things off of the big calendar and we plot them in on the days where they go and in the time frames that they go in, so that as we start to go through the important tasks for the week, we are already setting ourselves up for success, because when we look at the tasks that have to be done this week, we can start to plot them into our calendar on specific days so that we get them done, so that we get them completed. And then all of the extra things we can start to schedule into our day in a way that is going to make us more efficient, more successful with our time. You see, like our big rocks, those things need to be done when our brain power is at its maximum. Now, there is a science of timing, and each one of us operates a little bit differently. For that, morning person, they're going to be really functional first thing in the morning. When they get out of bed, they're ready to rock that day. They've got all the brain power that they need, and they can sit down and they can just start to plug out some of those really important things. If you're a night owl, guess what? You're going to be much more productive at night. And we just need to recognize how we operate best so that we work to our strengths. And that during the time of the day when our energy starts to dip, that's when we do some of the things that don't take nearly as much of our cognitive energy, answering emails, making phone calls, things like that don't require a ton from us. And we plot those into our day so that we use our time much more effectively. And then we can start to be a lot more consistent with our days. And like I said, at the end of the day, we can walk away going, man, I feel good. I feel like I got a lot done today. So that we feel that sense of positive accomplishment. The second thing that I really want us to talk about is decision-making and prioritization. See, the point of a plan is not only to imagine how things should go, but also decide about the priorities. The idea is to make hard decisions about how you should spend your time. We all have the same number of hours in a day, remember? And so what we do with those hours is what makes the real difference. The bottom line is that good time navigational skills means making good decisions about your time. If you want to be better at this and you want to feel more in control of the time that you have in your life, if you want to kind of be the puppet master pulling the strings and feel like you have that some semblance of control over your world, you have to prioritize. You're going to have to decide which tasks to tackle first and which tasks to say no to. Sometimes delegating or whatever that might look like, right? So that leads me to the third thing, which is our ability to set boundaries, our ability to say no. Because if you want to get better at how you use your time, you have to treat your time as the most precious asset that you have. That means setting very clear boundaries to people who want to give you tasks. So if anybody has, read through the time matrix outlined by Stephen Covey, we need to look at those 4 squares and look at what are the tasks that people are throwing on me that they consider important that might not be as important to me, right? Because a lot of times we allow that to happen. We allow other people, especially when it comes to like emails that people send us or phone calls that we pick up in the middle of our day. We are allowing those people's priorities to become our priorities, even if they weren't really. So just saying no is one of the most important skills. Or even just saying like, okay, awesome. Yeah, I can get to that when I have some time, right? Not making promises to get it done right here, right now, but giving ourselves a bit of a buffer where we can add it to a list, or we can be like, yeah, these are the things that I'm going to do when I have that sloop, when I have that dip in that energy that I can give to this task. We really just don't want to take too much extra onto our plate, because otherwise our stress levels are going to rise and we're not going to be productive anyway. We're not going to be productive with our priorities, and we're not going to be productive with other people's priorities. Saying no can be really, really hard, especially if it's to family and friends. But you know what? Practice makes perfect. So get out of your comfort zone and start to practice it. You just have to be honest with people. You know, that idea of like, I'd really love to do that for you. I just don't have the time right now. So I'm going to have to pass on that opportunity. And being able to just say that to people, you know, people respect when we respect ourselves. And they will recognize that when you do take on something, that you will give it your best, and then not take on things that you can't give your best to. So they know that they're getting the best of you when you do say yes. For each of us, we need to have systems in place that work for us. So for this, we kind of need two skills. Like the first one is building a system that works for you, and then constantly working to improve it. That requires reflection. And I talk about reflection a lot because it is so important to our mental health, to our physical health, to our professional health, really to everywhere that we give a bit of ourselves to. That consists of kind of experimenting with kind of different techniques, exploring what suits your personality best, putting the selected techniques together in meaningful ways, testing them out, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, making shifts, asking ourselves, okay, so what do I need to start doing? What do I need to stop doing? What things are working really well for me that I need to keep doing? There's no value in trying to put a system like this into place that you're not going to use regularly. You need to be ready to apply it and to use it. So you know what I would say, like actually check it out, like look up some good time navigation skill sets or techniques that are out there. Select the ones that seem like they work the best for you and in your world. Start testing them out, practicing them, giving yourself like a real good go at them, and then seeing what fits you the best. This is really important because it helps you to get back in control of your day. It's going to improve things like your performance. You're going to produce better work. It can be easy to become really anxious when you have a full list of tasks to accomplish, both for work and for your personal life. But when you start to prioritize those tasks and give yourself enough time to accomplish them, you can start to bring down your stress levels and improve your day overall. That's going to bring you more joy, more peace, more satisfaction in life. And isn't that worth it at the end of the day? You know, when you start to prioritize the things that are on your to-do list, you're going to move down things that are really not that important. And if you don't get to them, it's not a big deal. And then you're going to start getting done the things that really need to be done, which is what gives us that sense of accomplishment at the end of the day. All right, I have a few more of these tips and tricks for you for next week. So stay tuned and I will see you then. But for now, check out some information on my High Achiever program. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope that this has added value to you. You are amazing. Please leave a review so that I can know how to better serve and add value to you. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram, and these podcasts are available in video format on YouTube. So subscribe, leave a review, and I look forward to chatting with you again soon.